How you doing, everybody? Bruce Gombrelli, Gombrelli Guitars USA. I'm going to do a demo of my Nitro Series. This is the first version in that series. It's an unusual guitar in that it's got one volume, one tone, with the concept of simplicity. It uses my standard three-way switch for the two humbuckers. And it's got a dual splitter. So it's really a fun pickguard. So I'm going to walk you through this. I won't spend a lot of detail. Using the hot rod pickup switch, I have a nice stock of from Fender, and I really like the pickups. And when they go in series, it's just perfect. You break them back, you get this almost Strat sound. So it turns into like a 14K humbucker or 15K when you turn the Nitro Switch. So it's got two switches on it. It's got this dual splitter, and it's got the Nitro Switch. So let's listen what this baby sounds like. So this is the neck position, everything off, everything full up. Middle position is these two in parallel right here. In the neck. So that's a quintessential bridge pickup, and then we flip the coil, dual splitter. So this is really nice because you can use this in a lot of different ways. You can use it as a volume drop. You can use it to slightly thin out and take the bottom out. You can almost get an acoustic sound out of it. In the middle position, which is going to be the lowest volume when the dual splitter is on. If you'd use a coarse pedal, you really get a nice 12-string. All right, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to put on the Nitro Switch. So the Nitro Switch is the second switch down, and it's going to really give a lot of bottom. You're jumping up the humbuckers, and you're stacking them. So you're going to go from this. It fattens up the bottom, and it drops the frequency range down just a little bit, and you get this real nice, all thick, jazzy, which sounds really good through Marshall. If you want to. So if you take it off. See how it's sharper? But less bottom. So now the fun kicks in when we kick in both of them. And what's really cool about that is you get these now are stacked, but they're single coil stacks. And that's really nice. When it's off, you hear that drop in the bottom end that you get, and that's really useful depending on your scenario. Remember, you set the different pickup combinations. You got to think, well, what's my target sound that I'm looking for? Now I have the options to get those, and I'm going to give you a splash of something I'm going to do in a separate video because I want to spend a lot of time. I don't normally use distortion. This is straight through using my Princeton reverb amp, tube amp. And so what I'm going to do is I hooked up a little Boss blues driver down here. So you can just hear what happens when these switches change. So I'm going to turn everything off. I'm going to go to the bridge and kick this guy in. I dropped its level to try to match it a little bit. now we'll kick in the splitter. And then go to the neck. And then turn them all off. Okay, everybody on in bridge position. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. So just imagine that volume turned up quite a bit. I'm running through this little Princeton, it's turned way down because I'll blow my ears out. So fun stuff. It's really great. But really important takeaway real quick is that you notice when I put the distortion on, that difference in tones gets a little bit muddied. Muddied by not muddy, wobbly kind of muddy, but it just makes that difference between the positions less effective depending on what you do with the pedal. So I highly recommend you have more than one distortion pedal and you use that as a tool to create the sounds that you're looking for depending on what setting you set up here. And a good example of that is like, you know, Brian May would take and he'd put the two pickups together and he'd get this treble booster and he'd get this really unusual sound, yet it became a definitive sound. And that's the thing to look for, is to create those definitive sonic sounds with the different switching options that you can get. So having everything dropped out, single coils on, parallel, the lowest sound possible, you put it through the right boost pedal, and it's going to be really cool. Everything off bridge? Now tell me that's not different. Anyway, have a great one. Bruce Gombrelli, Gombrelli Guitars USA, custom design, hot rod pick guards, very exclusive creator. I have circuits that aren't out there on the web. Yep, I love doing this stuff. And you can find me on, best place, just go out to gombrelliguitars.com and then you can find information there, and then all the different places. I do custom orders, and I also put pre-built ones out on Reverb, eBay, and Gear Exchange, and all those really fun sites. So you guys have a great evening, morning, afternoon, depends on when you listen to this, and keep the creative juices flowing.